Now here we are, looking at the lights we mounted in the video way back when. It's called Let There Be Light, and it's on the channel. You can go check it out. There are three main points for the lighting in this system: the solar power fuse box, the mood light plug-in, and the switches. The fuse box is below the bed, so we run the wire up behind the cabinet and into the ceiling. Then it comes out of the switch box and goes into the lights. And it's time to get wiring. This is a dimmer switch I got on Amazon. This will control the main LED lights. Now, be very careful with these radial dials. This one I got specifically is pricey at about $30+, and if you wire it wrong, it'll break instantly. I went through two myself, but that's not because it's shorted, it's because I'm an idiot and misplaced one. Now, this is the more confusing wiring. I got this project box online and screwed in the back of it onto the bulkhead here. Then I drilled a hole for the switches to go into the cover, and it's best to keep your positive and negative wires the same colors throughout your entire project. And of course, to label where each wire goes to. That's what this yellow tape is for. Before I hooked it up to the solar battery, I wanted to make sure everything worked, so I plugged it into a car battery jumper. It's 12 volts, like the battery system we have, and I wanted to just make sure all the switches worked. Here's a little more of a visual. The red wire goes into the fuse box, over the light switches, then runs back along the same path to the ground. In between there, on the loop back, I inserted the socket plug for the Christmas lights or mood lights, whatever you want to call it. Then I ran another red wire through the same path to the switches, this time onto the radial dial. Then the wire continues up into the ceiling to wire each one of the LED lights. Then it comes back down through the dial again. Then to complete the circuit, the ground wire comes back out and connects to the previous ground wire. This animation looked much better in my head. Here's a quick reminder of how we wired the lights in the previous video. It's not that pretty, I know. Now, I know that's not a very good drawing. Here, I'll give you a little demonstration. Hopefully the sound is good on this. Basically, what we have is the fuse box down here. The wires go back behind the wall, behind this cabinet, and up through the ceiling. Then goes to the switch over here, and then goes to the lights, pulls back around here into this cabinet where we've got the pigtail switch for the mood lights. And then all the wiring comes back in and connects to the solar battery fuse box. Use the control panel to make sure the power is flowing into the appliances, and then you're good to go. In the daytime, of course, you don't need many lights, and you can barely tell that they're even on. But at night, now that's where they shine. I think that's kind of a pun. The Christmas mood lights are my favorite for setting some romantic ambiance. And when you want to read or do anything that needs a bit more light, you've got the dimmer switch to control the main LED lights. It's bright as daylight in here, and it takes very little power. The lights all on at full blast take about 1.2 amps. You can check out the video on the channel called Block Prying Eyes and the Sun with Blackout curtains, #stealth camping. And then you can see how I made sure nobody outside can see inside at night. Here's your interesting little fact for the day. The main lights and the camera recording don't mix when not on max voltage. This is because lights are actually moving at a different frequency. The frequency of the lights on low is imperceivable to your eyes, though the camera is recording at different frames per second than your eyes, and it'll come out doing this weird wavy thing that you can see right now. As you can see, I can't really stand up in the van, but I can actually sit pretty normally. I've got this foldable chair that I can pull out, and on the bed you can actually recline, and it's pretty comfortable. Ooh, okay, well this was a kind of complicated video, and I guess I don't really explain it that well. It's hard to do. So feel free to come by and I'll show you how it all works in person. The big solar video is still to come. That's where we're putting all the components together. The inverter, the batteries, control panel, fuse box, and all the other fun stuff. For that one, I've got some nice diagrams and everything, and I'm sure that'll be helpful.